Yesterday on this very show, we talked about why Kyrie is not with the Nets, reportedly wants to be a voice for the voiceless, but we hadn't heard Kyrie's voice until now on IG Live. It's First Take. Let's go. Screwed up as always. Jay Williams in the house, Kendrick Perkins, Stephen A. Smith. I'm Molly Karen Rose. Jen Orlovsky will be here in just a bit for the entirety of the show. All right, guys, let's start with the latest in the Nets Kyrie saga. Kyrie speaking for the first time on this vaccine mandate on IG Live last night. Here's a portion of it.
Stop running away from using my voice and using my platform to, speak on what's true and what's mine. Nobody's going to hijack my voice. Nobody's going to take the power away from me that I have for speaking on these things, and don't believe that I'm retiring. Don't believe that I'm going to give up this game for a vaccine mandate or staying unvaccinated. Don't believe any of that, man. Like really be aware of what's being said before I even get a chance to be on the podium and speak for myself. You know what I'm saying? Like all these people saying all these things about what's going on with me, and it's just not true. Pay attention to what's going on out in the real world. People are losing their jobs to these mandates. People are having to make choices with their own lives, which I respect. And I don't want to sit here and play on people's emotions either. Just use logic. What would you do? If you felt uncomfortable going into the season when you were promised that you would have exemptions or that you didn't have to be forced to get the vaccine. This wasn't an issue before the season started. This wasn't something that I foresaw coming where I prepared for it. And, I had a chance to strategize on what was going to be best for me and my family. I came into the season thinking that I was just going to be able to play ball, be able to use my talent to continue to, inspire, influence people in the right way. Putting this on me is just like, why are you putting it on me? This is not part of, what's going on in conversations with scientists, physicians, and doctors. I'm just a hooper, right? Like I'm just a person who's being utilized as an example. For some odd reason, people love to have my name in the mix of just some BS.
Okay, a lot to unpack there. Stephen A., now that we've heard from Kyrie, I wish I had a clearer understanding of his position, yet it feels more murky. What's your reaction to Kyrie's message?
Well, I think it's all over the place. But I want to make sure I take the position, and producers, leave Kendrick Perkins and Jay Williams up on the screen because I want to see them when I'm talking to them, and I'm talking to America here. Jay and I, first of all, Jay and I are fine for those fools out there that think we got a problem. They don't realize we brothers. They don't understand. You understand?
Always.
So we can have disagreement,
Always,
but we good. Here's the thing that people are not getting, and I want to make sure that I'm clear about. I am no anti-vaxxer. I have been vaccinated. Jay's been vaccinated. I think Kendrick Perkins, I know you have. And we all believe you should get vaccinated. But I am no anti-vaxxer. Let me be very, very clear about that. I have an issue with Kyrie Irving. And by the way, as I tried to say yesterday, but I'll say today, it ain't about the vaccine. It's about what I label to be his selfishness when it comes to being a teammate of Kevin Durant, James Harden, and the rest of the crew with the Brooklyn Nets. That is the issue for me. If you don't want to take the vaccine, that's your choice. You are absolutely right. It's a personal choice, and it's other people's choice to react whatever way they want to. I choose to focus on a couple of things here. Kyrie Irving has been in this league for damn near 10 years, if I remember correctly, about 10 years now. He's played over 70 games 3 times. This is the same Kyrie Irving that got hurt before the global pandemic became official, essentially, and before the season was brought to a halt. When the season was scheduled to resume in a bubble, he was a vice president in a players association who had encouraged people not to participate in play in Orlando in the bubble. But he did so on his own without talking to CP3 and them and letting them know what his position was going to be publicly. They had to find out like the rest of us. He didn't play then. Then he's gone, so you take into account he got hurt and had only played 20 games. He got hurt. Season gets halted. What does he do? He comes back 10 months later, 10 months after the season was resumed in December. Another season, started in December. And 2 weeks in, 7 games into the season, Kyrie Irving needs a break, disappears for personal reasons, initially didn't tell the coach or anybody else, okay? Knew he was supposed to come back, got caught partying with his sister. You understand what I'm saying? And at a party, all right, where you were exposed to all of that contact tracing and stuff like that, where KD even had to be pulled from some games because accidentally or whatever, they found that he could have potentially been exposed. So you had all of these things going on. My point is transition that to where we are now. And where we are now is yet another reason why Kyrie Irving isn't playing basketball. KD is in Brooklyn because of you. James Harden, to a lesser degree, is in Brooklyn because of you. You helped bring these brothers together. And that's where I'm coming from. It is my belief. I'm not trying to say forget the vaccine because I understand that's a part of this discussion. Again, but what I'm focusing on and what I want people to know that I'm focusing on about Kyrie Irving is I believe you helped assemble all of this and you've left these dudes hanging yet again. Now, we can sit up there and say this has nothing to do with everything else that's going on in this past. Fair enough. But the one consistent common denominator that is inescapable is A, Kyrie Irving is a distraction. B, it usually involves him missing time on the job, which he signed up to do, which he encouraged other people to do, which he's getting $35 million a year to play. These are all the things that I'm pointing to. And that's where I want to go from there before we even get into what he said last night. Floor is y'all's.
Well, you know what? Here's the thing, right? We all have our rights and everybody have the freedom to do whatever they want with their body. But Stephen A., you made one word stand out to me just now. Clear. And you have certain people that go on here and say, you know what? Kyrie Irving is a version of Colin Kaepernick. No, the hell he's not. Because Colin Kaepernick made it very, very clear where he stands, okay, or where he stood for us with the NFL. I don't know where Kyrie Irving stands. He's all over the place, as you would say. But I'm going to tell you this. I'm watching the IG Live. I'm watching some of the former brotherhood, NBA brotherhoods, and they saying, go Kyrie. Oh, yeah, you're doing the right thing. I stand with Kyrie. But guess what? It's another brother that's in the NBA, that's in Minnesota, that lost 6 family members, including his mama, God rest her soul, by the name of Karl Anthony Towns. And he made it very, very clear to everybody where he stood with this vaccination. And he told people, go get vaccinated. You want to know something? When I saw what Karl Anthony Towns went through, that's what made me choose a side. And my thing is with Kyrie Irving, yes, it is your body. But tell me, what are you standing for? Make it clear to me. Because watching the IG Live yesterday, it wasn't clear. And it's not clear to this day. It's still not clear today as we wake up. It's murky. As Molly just said, it's murky. So I'm not telling the man what to do. I'm saying, give us some clarification. And by the way, the media, right? The media, oh man, y'all always want to point me out. You a superstar, Kyrie. When you sign up to go to the NBA, you sign up for the media. Media comes with it. We applaud you when you stand on the front line and you do things in the community. Of course, if you don't get vaccinated, it's going to be a story and we're going to talk about it. Hello, you are in the NBA. This is part of it. So just me personally, look, Kyrie could do whatever the hell he wants with his body. All I'm saying was that it wasn't clear, and it's still not clear. I don't know where he stands, and I don't know what he's trying to accomplish.
Yeah, before you jump in, Jay, he did say in that video he's not retiring and he's not giving up this game for the vaccine. So, yes, again, even more unclear on his stance and if he will be playing with the Nets or not. Jay?
Well, everybody on this show has said that it's pretty unclear from Kyrie's IG Live. I felt like it was pretty clear. He stated that he was unvaccinated. He stated that he wasn't sure about how this would affect him in his career. He stated that at the beginning of the season, he was ready to play. And then due to municipalities, things had changed. And I think one of the things that kind of elevated the conversation yesterday, Stephen A., was that everybody wants Kyrie Irving to be on their timeline. They want him to be on their timetable. Well, he's not answering things fast enough. And as much as we're talking about the past history, and look, that's a completely different conversation, Stephen A., I am with you. There are a lot of questionable decisions. You know, I'm sitting up here with a Duke Brotherhood jacket on. I've been objective on your platform and others about some of the decisions Kyrie has made, right? But I think as it relates to this particularly, I think this is an unprecedented nature, a matter. And I'm okay with Kyrie taking his time to make this decision. He never said he was anti-vax. He never said he was pro-vax. He's saying he's trying to figure it out. Once again, I think there is something important about somebody trying to take their time to figure this out. You can go and talk to me about science and all the other things. I just think it's important for Kyrie to do what Kyrie needs to do for Kyrie to make the best decision. But it does feel like he has become the face of how people want to chastise those who are unvaccinated. And that's what happens when people who feel like they are being spoken to through the prism of Kyrie Irving, that creates this snowball effect. And I think that's what happens when there's venom that's being thrown. So for Kyrie in this particular situation, once again, I state, I do think he made himself clear. He stated he was unvaxxed. And some things aren't unclear, right? Like he isn't clear about what his status is going to be.